Welcome back to Daily Persuasion. I'm Joshua Lisec. Today I'm going to teach you a technique to help people feel you understand them so that they will be willing to understand you. And when they understand you, they can be persuaded by you. Of course, I'm Joshua Lisec, the New York Times bestselling author and co-author, ghostwriter of 97 books, nonfiction, as well as a certified professional hypnotist. Through these unique experiences, I curate current events to teach you how to better influence the VIPs of your life and career. Are you familiar with Imago Relationship Therapy? It's called Imago Relationship Therapy. Think of these as prefixes for communication. So, for example, a lot of couples or parents or colleagues, even when there's negative emotions and there's escalation, there can get accusing, blaming, insulting can happen. And then there's a retributive factor where you say something mean to me, I say something mean to you back. And it's just this sort of black-heartedness, this dark cloud that envelops the relationship. Well, Imago Therapy, this communication style, these prefixes allow you to share what you're feeling without attacking the other person. So, for example, if you need to have an uncomfortable conversation with someone and you need to confront them, you could use the prefix, the sort of linguistic prefix. The story I'm telling myself about this is, you absolutely suck. No, maybe not quite like that. But notice how different that feels from you suck. When you say the story I'm telling myself is, that is sort of a prefix. Well, you don't have to just attack the other person. You can simply say what it is that the story you're telling yourself is. You don't care about what I want. You just want to get what you want. And I'm just here to be used and abused. And then use it as a suffix. That's the story I'm telling myself. It's a very sad story, right? So you're able to elicit a little bit of sympathy from the other person. And you're not blaming them. You're simply telling, well, that's the story I'm telling myself. Other prefixes would be things like, I perceive. That also forces you to say what it is that you perceive versus you suck and you just start attacking. When will you ever do this? Those sorts of questions that you never get good answers to. You should. Why don't you? Right? The use of the word why in an accusatory conversation in a relationship is just toxic for the relationship. You don't want to do it. What you want to do instead is use these Imago Therapy based prefixes. Another one is when you're attaching different thoughts, where you have a dark feeling. You could describe something that happened. Do you remember when such and such and such happened? Yeah, I remember that. So you speak with the facts and you get yes from them. When I think about that, Imago, this thing that they agreed yes happened, and you can describe, you remember when you said this and I said this? So you can get on the same page, mutual understanding. What you're then able to do is say, and when I think about that, I feel. And you can describe how you feel, not I feel like you suck. Like is not a feeling, okay? That's what Imago Relationship Therapy teaches. Like is not a feeling. I feel like you, that's not a feeling, that's an attack. So you'll notice what happens is you can have deep, uncomfortable conversations, dark conversations, even painful negotiations. If there's a troubling client that you're having, if there's marital strife, if troubled relationship with a child, perhaps an adult child, with a sibling, a neighbor, using some of these Imago Relationship Therapy based linguistic prefixes, sentence prefixes, even the thought prefixes. Prefix means like you fix it before the thing, right? This is when we're diagramming sentences, and we all learned this when we were kids. We should have. I was homeschooled, so I did. They allow you to set the frame as this is going to be mutual sharing, not attacking. You do not need to defend yourself. You need to listen and sympathize. And that puts the person in a different frame. They don't have to attack or counterattack. They can share what they think and feel too. And you may learn something new, by the way, that changes what you think and feel about the situation. So this mutual understanding can create what? It can create space for persuasion, where they understand where you're coming from, and they can say, as Imago would say, what you said makes sense. And then they can go and act upon that. It's called, we do a little Imago therapy.